First was the overview, and now let's get into the actual review of the Shadow Systems MR920 Elite. What's going on, guys? I hope all y'all are doing great. So this might look familiar, kind of, besides the add-ons to it. I already did the overview. For those of you who've not watched that, I'll leave a link down below. But that was just an overview of basically my first impressions and first thoughts without even shooting this thing, just right out of the box. Kind of like an unboxing. So now let's get into the actual review. So before I do an actual review on something, I like to have at least 1,000 rounds. 1,000 rounds, no, that is not a lot. And some people say this is not going to be an in-depth, solid review because I've only shot 1,000 rounds. But 1,000 rounds of me is a good breaking point on where I can say, okay, this is a pro, this is a con, whatever, this is good, this is not. 1,000 rounds, in my opinion, you can determine and figure out if this is a good gun or not, or any kind of gear. 1,000 rounds for guns is really a small, rough spot to review something. So let's get into the MR920 Elite. Before I talk about it, let's show how pretty this damn thing is. I mean, look at this. So before I didn't have the RMR and I didn't have the X3 on here. That is the only thing I've added was the RMR Type 2 and a Surefire X300 UA. Waiting on a can. Okay, let's go down. I'm not going to go like tip to butt. Just going to talk about things in the overview, what I like and don't like, and say, has my opinion changed on any of those? So, mag pull mags, great. I already talked about that. We'll get that out of the way. So shooting this with a light or without, or with an RMR or without, I've done both. I just prefer it set up like this. And did not know, I don't like shooting sometimes with lights on, just because it does kind of mess with the weight of the gun. This is already flat already enough. With the light, I like it. So let's go over Shadow Systems, their slogan, I guess you want to call it, or where they say the flattest shooting pistol on the market. I'm not going to say it's the flattest shooting pistol. I've not shot a ton of pistols. I mean, I've shot my fair enough, but I've not shot, say, SPIs yet. Tri-Arcs, I've not shot those or the Agent, so I can't say that. But right now, out of every pistol I've shot, and I've shot 30, 40, maybe more, hands down, the MR920 Elite shoots flat. Flatter than any of the guns I've shot. My first mag, I wish I did a first mag impression to add in here, but I did not get that clip out there. First mag, this was, I was like, okay, I'm shooting a 19. That's all I'm going to be doing, shooting a 19, just a Gucci'd out one with stuff on it. And this thing is a champ. Accuracy on this, The gun, in my opinion, is more accurate than me. I know it might sound stupid, but the gun is more accurate than me because this thing stays on target with or without RMR. I already like the blacked out rears like I talked about before. And your tritium, your green post right here, it's good. So, flat, yes, this gun. Shadow, I'll give you that for saying this gun was the flattest. This is the flattest one I've shot. So, Shadow, good job with that. Y'all didn't use false advertising. So, my biggest con on the MR920, what I talked about in the overview, has changed and it's not a con anymore. The biggest con I had was the trigger. You guys know I was not a fan of the trigger for a gun that cost me more than a Glock 19 right out of the box. The trigger, I'm going to say it sucked. After seeing some videos, people said around 300 to 500 it broke in pretty good. I can agree. After 300 it broke in. This trigger is a lot smoother now. Way more smoother than, this is the break-in period. So this trigger now, I love it. So Shadow, you caught me a little bit right there when I paid for this and got out of the box. The trigger was horrible, but now it's a couple rounds through it and this trigger is phenomenal. So after roughly the 100 or the 1,000 rounds I shot through this, I shot Federal, Remington, and Aoki. So out of those three, none of them had any issues. So all those three, I mean, there's a lot more out there, but that's just the three that I shoot a lot. And I have some more like Blazer and stuff like that. So none of those had any issues. None of the mags. So I tried ETS mags, the mag pull that came with it, Glock mags. It ate up everything. ETS mags, I've not had it happen in this, and I thought it was going to be an issue. I've had a problem with ETS mags before. That is my favorite mag, though, for the range. I don't care about getting beat up. Say, drop it on concrete or whatever I'm doing. ETS mags, I thought were going to have issues. I've had problems before out of my AR9 with ETS mags, and also the Vector. But ETS mags did great through here. All of them had. I've not tried the MN2 mags yet through here, but I don't think it'll be an issue. What mags I prefer for it, it really don't matter. I mostly ran with the mag pull mags that came with it. So going back to the accuracy, I was talking about how flat this thing is. That is what I was noticing. I could shoot this faster than my 19s, my other Glocks, other custom out guns. And no, that is not because of the trigger, even though the trigger does help. But the weight on this and just something, I mean, how high it sits in your hand, everything else, how Shadow did, I just noticed when I was shooting quicker that I was not losing my sight picture. It was not moving that much. So it was a lot easier to shoot this thing fast and stay on target, not start riding up and your gun just slowly start going. So that was a plus. So it's flat. I think the only really bad thing, it's not necessarily bad, but just it was too much for me and it did not help me necessarily, was what Shadow did. Sidewall here. I mean, you can see, talking about the overview, that placement where it's not supposed to slip. I noticed when I was shooting, I say everybody shoots their way, but it's really whatever you like shooting. I noticed when I was shooting though, I thought this would like help my thumb a lot more and help my support hand get better grip on the firearm. The only thing is, I noticed when I was shooting, this did not help or make anything worse. I just thought it was unnecessary to put that there. I mean, it's not a big deal, but I just noticed when I shoot, my thumb is usually right here at the slide. So I noticed when I was watching playbacks of my videos I did, some of the range footage, and I just noticed out there, my thumb was never supported by this at all. So that's just something that's just small. Like, it's not really bad, but I honestly don't think that was made like it should have been made. But I can see being ambidextrous because yes, it does help right here. I noticed my finger was always there and I was always locked on from that little lip. So I guess that's why for you weirdo lefties out there, just joking guys, don't take offense to that. That could help. But just whenever you're shooting, if you're a righty, lefty, whatever, if you guys have one or you get one, shoot a little bit. Don't think about it. Try to record yourself without thinking, okay, where's my thumb going? But that did not help my thumb at all. And I really thought it would. I thought I'd be kind of pressing more into the gun for better accuracy with my sport hand, but it didn't matter to me. So guys, that is just my quick review of the MR920 Elite by Shadow Systems. They're not paying me to do this video. They didn't send me this. I bought this with my money. I mean, they might even see this, which I don't care. But just a quick review. So if you're debating, so I know a couple people have asked me, they have been looking at this or the Zev OZ9. I still want to get an OZ9 to review it and definitely do a comparison of this. But guys, right now, it's hard to say this, it's not like a hypocrite, but this over the OZ9, this is a lot cheaper. I mean, they have the OZ9s like the Combat and some other cheaper ones, but the OZ9 one was the full size with the threaded barrel, the plate cutouts, and everything else. Right now, this is my go-to range gun. This is my EDC gun. This is my all-around go-to gun. So big hands up to the MR920 for replacing my other carries and everything else. So like I said, it's quick. If you have any questions, please let me know down in the comments, guys. Like this video, subscribe to my channel if you're not subscribed to me already. And also hit that bell notification down below to be notified when I upload more videos. And guys, if you want to help support this channel just a little bit more, but you don't have to, I'll leave a link to my Patreon account down below. It'll help me film some more gear, some more guns, help me with more shooting videos with ammo. I'm trying to get a lot of range footage now with some of these videos. And also, if you want to reply to me, or I reply to you a little bit quicker, instead of commenting, you can check out my Instagram account. I'll leave a link down below. I'm more active on Instagram, and I post weekly on YouTube and post things here and there on Instagram, but I'll get back to you just a little bit quicker. But guys, thanks again, and as always, y'all have a good one.